Alright guys, welcome back to the garage. Let's get back to work on the CRV. Now if you watched the last video, this thing had a nasty transmission whine. And what we had to do is replace the end cover on the transmission. And that required the whole subframe to drop. And when we did that, we had to remove this transmission mount. And that thing is toast. So just got on eBay, got a new transmission mount. Should be an easy swap. Let's get to it. So you can see the transmission mount is right there. We'll have to remove the airbox to get to all the bolts, but it shouldn't be a big deal. First thing is going to loosen this hose clamp. And we got this clamp, scoot back there. And we got a bunch of 8mm holding the lid to the airbox. With all those loose, we should be able to pull this out. Now we got 3 10s holding the airbox in the car. All right, now we have access to the mount. Now before we start taking bolts out, you're gonna want a jack supporting the transmission, and I just put a piece of wood in there just to protect the transmission case. Just a little pressure, so when we start removing bolts, the transmission doesn't want to fall. All right, first one we're gonna do is the 17 bolt through here, at least get it loosened. Okay, now that we got that loose, I think I'm gonna remove everything as an assembly. So the mount bracket on the transmission and then the mount from the body, this whole thing out. We'll reassemble the new mount into the bracket loosely, put everything back as one. So these 3 on the transmission bracket are 17s. All right, next I'm going to move this fuse box out of my way. It's just got these little push tabs and it slides off of the bracket. So you can see this gives us better access to these 3 bolts for the mount. And see these tabs, you just push in on these tabs and it slides off the bracket here. And then this is a harness clip with little tabs on the inside. Just pop those, all the room now. Okay, 3 more 17s and this whole mount should come out. Right, you can see that mount is trashed. So, should make a big improvement on how the car drives and feels. Let's get this swapped out. So now that it's out, we can just zip this bolt right out of here. Instead of fooling with it in the car. Dang. sit in there just like that. Or bolt back in the same way. And we'll just snug that down, we won't tighten it. So once it's in the car, we can get it all assembled and tighten that bolt down. Now, depending on how trashed your mount is, you can see we need to raise the transmission up because it's not quite lining up. And that's mainly because the transmission was already sagging due to that torn up mount. All right, now that I got them all loose, I'm gonna snug them up evenly and slowly to get everything back up to where it should be. Okay, now we can tighten this 17 back down. All right, now we can throw our fuse box back on. All right, let's throw our air box back in. All right, that's a wrap on that. Pretty easy swap. Now we can get to the nasty suspension and brakes. I got a load of parts ready to go on this thing. So stay tuned and I'll catch you on the next one.